My life is like a crayon box, and I'm the white crayon because I always get picked last. Dear Diary, my name is Isabella Montez. I'm 16 years old and an honorary member of the No Friends Society. I remember when life didn't suck. Actually, I really can't, to be completely honest with you. I feel like my life has been absolute crap since the day I was born. Sometimes I feel like my existence is just one huge comedic roast. It's funny for everyone else, but I always end up getting burned in the end. All my life, I have been chosen last. I was last to get picked for dodgeball teams in PE. I was always the last girl any guy would want to ask out. Hell, I was even the last one to be found in hide and seek, but that's because no one was looking for me. That's enough ranting for one day. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Dear Diary, I apologize right now for this depressing childhood story that is about to kill your vibe. Once when I was 6 years old, I was in the first grade. It was recess and all the kids decided to play hide and go seek. This boy Peter was the first seeker. He started counting and all the other kids started scattering, looking for places to hide. I ran to one of the really big oak trees that was planted in the schoolyard and started to climb up. I settled myself down on one of the big branches and started chuckling because I knew that the other kids would have a really hard time trying to find me all the way up here. I sat on that branch for what felt like ages until the bell rang. I saw all the other kids start running into the classroom, but none of them had come out of their hiding spots. They had all been found. I finally got out of the tree and caught up to them and said, "You guys didn't find me. I'm the champ." One of the girls looked at me and said, "We didn't find you because we weren't even looking for you, because we don't like you." I remember going home that day and crying. Little did I know that there were many more of those kind of days ahead of me. Well, good night. I have to study for my math test tomorrow. Dear Diary, remember that math test? I failed miserably, kind of like my life. One day back in middle school, I was in PE and we had decided to play dodgeball that class period. We started picking teams like we usually did. I stood in that stupid line for what felt like forever as I watched all the other kids in my class move to their side of the team as they were picked. It got down to only being two of us, me and this girl Mandy who was on crutches because she had broken her leg the week before in a skiing accident. I had high hopes that I wouldn't be chosen last this time, looking at who I was up against. It was this kid's Jerry's turn to pick, and of course, with my luck, he picked the cripple instead of me. I did my walk of shame over to the side of the team that got stuck with me as I listened to the sound of disappointed teenagers as they lined up to start the game. When the whistle blew, I got pelted by dodgeballs by the other team, and even kids from my own team were chucking them at me. Alright, well, that's the end of that story. I have to get some rest tomorrow because I'm going to ask out this boy on a date. Good night. Dear Diary, I've really had it with being last. Today I asked this boy out on a date, and he looked at me and said, "Even if you were the last girl on earth, I still wouldn't date you." I've really had it. I've had it with not being picked for a team, or being found in a game, or even being a guy's first choice. I've just had it. My whole life I've always been last. But not this time. At least I'll be first at one thing.